Welcome into Off the Record. It's a new NSN production where we take local sports topics and we give it a culture twist. So what do you think of Off the Record as a name for this show?
I think Off the Record is good because honestly, we're kind of going off the record and just getting a little out of our comfort zone. I like it though. It's
so
fun.
On the record, but a little off the record just because we're taking a little different look at it. So we're going to talk about the Nevada men's basketball's 0-4 start to Mountain West play. That's their worst start to conference play since 2000, 2001. And we're going to compare it to the DC Extended Universe series of movies. Both have been pretty disappointing, but came in with a lot of hype. I think DC was kind of trying to follow Marvel, which had a ton of success with its movie series. DC's not had quite as much success, but there's hope on horizon both for DC and for the Nevada Wolfpack men's basketball team, which we'll get to. But I guess what are your thoughts on just the DC Extended Universe series of movies that we've seen over the last decade?
I mean, I think we can just all say it's been a flop so far. I mean, it's just straight up been a flop, and it's not something that, people are dying to go out and see. I mean, when Marvel movies come out, you're like, okay, I need to make sure I go see the Avengers or go see the new Captain America or Iron Man. DC has not done anything like that yet, so we'll see.
Okay, a couple of early season flops, and we'll see if they turn it around. So we're going to go game by game through the Nevada men's basketball Mountain West schedule so far, and we're going to give our movie comp to it. So we'll take the conference opener. That was a 2-point loss to Colorado State. For me, that is the Batman versus Superman version of a DC movie. They're kind of both the original sin. That Colorado State game at home kind of showed Nevada men's basketball maybe not quite as good as we thought, and that Batman versus Superman movie had one of the worst twist endings I've ever seen. Batman is trying to kill Superman, and then they realize that both of their moms are named Martha, so they stop beating each other up.
Right.
That made absolutely no sense, and it kind of put a bad twist on that DC series for me. What is your comp? You going with that comp or something else?
I would say that. I don't know. I just feel like if you have two superheroes technically fighting each other, I don't know. I guess they didn't want to kill them off right away, but I mean, I don't know, Martha.
Yeah.
I know everyone loves their mom, but
also, the fact that Batman was about to put down Superman makes no sense. Superman has laser eyes, he can fly, and Batman just has gadgets. Gadgets usually do not beat laser red eyes and the ability to fly.
Well, that's the thing too, is Batman came into in the movie, they were putting such a bad light on Superman, so I guess it was how the director and the producer wanted to tell the story of being the alien-like abilities won't outweigh Batman's actual powers, but I don't know. It's just kind of strange overall.
So that got things off on a bad foot for both of these entities. We'll go to the second loss in Mountain West play for Nevada. That was a loss at Wyoming, a 3-pointer for me. That's like Aquaman. It was just a complete mess.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa, not my kind of guy for Aquaman. I was kind of excited for Aquaman, and I was kind of excited. Okay, Nevada going to go on the road, maybe get a win at Wyoming, right the ship. Certainly that didn't happen. So when I think of that Wyoming game, I just think of the mess that was Aquaman. I mean, they had some pretty big stars in it. Amber Heard, Nicole Kidman. Just didn't really work out.
Right. And I mean, I think Jason Momoa is he looks like he would be Aquaman, so he fits the look of it, but I think you had mentioned before, he is maybe a little overrated. Slightly, I don't know, hot take maybe, I'm not really sure, but I mean, the game against Wyoming, they didn't start out strong. And I think, like you said, it was just a complete mess. It was a get-right game, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
So there were some good reviews with Aquaman and then some not so good reviews. So
mostly Rotten Tomato, though, for both of those performances. Yes. So we'll go to Game 3. Nevada comes home against Utah State. That's a 5-point loss, but it started out pretty well. So I'm going to go Wonder Woman 1984. The beginning 10 minutes of that movie where a young Gal Gadot is going through the obstacle course against grown women, that was some of the best cinema I've seen. And then the rest of the movie was absolutely terrible. Pedro Pascal could not fix it. Kirsten Wiig could not fix it. So very disappointing performance by Nevada, because the first half they're up 5. You're thinking, okay, they're going to get back on the right track. Wonder Woman, the first, was pretty good. So you're like, okay, I'm excited to see Wonder Woman 2. First 10 minutes, awesome. Then the second half for Nevada against Utah State. And basically the second 90% of Wonder Woman 1984 was not good.
Yeah, the original Wonder Woman, it was a movement to show that there can be a strong woman superhero, kind of fighting into the very male-heavy, male-dominated world of the universe. And then you come into 1984, and her biggest battle is in a mall. So if you think about it like that, it's like, all right, what precedent are we trying to set, and why didn't we at
that's
least?
a good point.
So
That might be a little bit sexist that they're putting the
Yeah.
woman to fight in the mall. I never
Why-
really thought of it like that before.
like they could have at least done like a cornfield or something,
Yeah.
something a little different, maybe I don't know.
Well, I mean, like
a
the first
mall?
one, she's like saving World War I or World War II. I don't
Yes.
remember what war it was, but she was like saving the world from collapsing, and now we're going to put her in a mall.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the most recent Nevada Mountain West loss, the 1-point loss at New Mexico. So I think the Wolfpack actually performed well in this game. So I'm going to put the comp as Shazam.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed Shazam. It wasn't necessarily like part of that whole universe, but it's basically a kid who gets into a man's body. And I thought that was an entertaining movie. That was a little bit of positivity. Unfortunately, Nevada couldn't quite finish it off against New Mexico.
Right.
And then you see Shazam 2, and that was absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Shazam couldn't really finish it off with the second part, and I don't think you're ever going to see a Shazam 3 based on how that second one went.
No, probably not. I think the idea and the plot was good, and I think they executed it well for the first one. And if you look at the plot of the game against New Mexico at New Mexico, 1000th game, it was set up perfect. But unfortunately, I mean, it didn't go the Wolfpack's way, even though they did play a very strong game. Nelly Junior Joseph, the kryptonite, some would say. So, but yeah, I think that's a good comp.
So that is the disappointing start to the DC franchise, the disappointing start to Nevada men's basketball. We do have some positivity to talk about.
Yeah.
Nevada men's basketball plays Fresno State, Air Force, and San Jose State in its next 3 games. Those 3 teams are terrible.
Yeah.
So you should see 3 straight wins for Nevada. And then on the DC side, they have hired James Gunn of Guardians of the Galaxy fame, and he is starting a new DC universe. It starts this July with Superman. We've seen a couple of trailers for that. So we don't want to be all negative about this. I think Nevada men's basketball is going to get better, especially in these next 3 games. And fingers crossed that this DC universe gets a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more cohesive under James Gunn. I guess, what are your thoughts both on Nevada men's basketball, but more importantly on maybe what James Gunn could do for the DC universe?
I think Guardians of the Galaxy was it was a phenomenal film. I mean, even, the sequel and the third one that they put out was it was really good, with James Gunn and the storyline. And I think Nevada has that opportunity to do something well. It's just a matter of, are they able to do it? And I think Superman looks really good. The trailer looks really good. So, I mean, fingers crossed. I'm excited to see that one. I don't think I've ever said that about a DC movie yet.
There we go.
So we'll see what James Gunn can do. And then also, when it comes to Nevada, we gotta get somewhere. We gotta put a win in the win column.
And Superman has a dog in this movie, which I think everybody's very excited for. Whenever you can get dogs into your movies, that's good. Maybe if Nevada loses a couple more games, they get like a team dog or something like that. Team Wolf might be a little bit too scary. Might eat some people at Lawler Event Center. But we wanted to give you a little bit of a fresh perspective on Nevada men's basketball and its start to the season. Thank you so much for joining us, Nikki, on Off the Record, the inaugural episode of Off the Record presented by NFL.
Happy to be here.